Well, the IPL's round the corner, and one of the franchises that we've got to be talking about is the Delhi Capitals, a team which will be a new look team in many ways, and that's not because of the auction, but that's because they'll have a new leader, and that's a forced change in many ways that Delhi will now have to make. While we speak of Delhi Capitals, we must also tell you that they've also started to train in the national capital, and on the sidelines of one such pre-season camp that was organized by the Delhi Capitals, Sourav Ganguly here, who is again back with the Delhi Capitals in a management role, he has spoken about a couple of things. One, of course, he's given an update on Rishabh Pant's recovery. Of course, he realizes and says that Rishabh is extremely pivotal to the franchise, but he's now given a timeline as to how long Rishabh Pant could possibly take to return for India. Of course, it's a World Cup year, so Rishabh Pant's fitness is something that everyone is curious about because he makes your playing 11 automatically. So Sourav Ganguly on the sidelines of this training session that has taken place in the national capital, as far as the Delhi Capitals go, he's revealed the timeline for his return for India, and second, of course, he's also touched base upon KL Rahul, the kind of form that he's in, and what possibly lies ahead for KL Rahul. He's spoken about these two Indian players. So without wasting any of your time, let's just quickly dive into those comments that have been made by Sourav Ganguly on the sidelines, like I said, of that training session that has taken place for the Delhi Capitals. So Sourav Ganguly is saying, contrary to what has been made to believe by certain media reports and what's been said about Rishabh Pant's recovery, Sourav Ganguly says that it could take up to 2 years for Rishabh Pant to return in national colours, and that's a big statement if you ask, because Sourav Ganguly says that he has been in touch with Rishabh Pant. He's spoken to him a couple of times. What exactly he said? Let's quickly go through that. So he says that obviously he is going through a tough period through injuries and surgeries, and I wish him well. In a year's time, or maybe in a couple of years' time, he will be back playing for India. Now, when you read the highlighted part again, very clearly being said by Sourav Ganguly that it could indeed take up to 2 years for Rishabh Pant to come out of injury and to start playing for India again. What this essentially means is, if Sourav Ganguly's word is to be taken, and given this huge update that he's given over here, that is to say that, of course, the IPL was always going to be out of question for Rishabh Pant. This also essentially means that sure, other big tournaments or the other big events that are coming out, which is the World Test Championships, which is obviously the Mega World Cup as well, you've got to be talking about. There is a World Cup happening later in India. So Rishabh Pant, contrary to what many reports suggested, many reports also suggesting in the past that he could be back in about 6 to 8 months time. Would he have made the cut then? Would have been something we would have had to see. But if this is anything to go by, then of course the World Cup goes out of the scheme of things, and Rishabh Pant will not be available. Who fills in then? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, that's what we know as far as Rishabh Pant's recovery is concerned. We've seen him, he's been a little active of late on Instagram. He's put out some pictures of his recovery. He continues to be under care. The BCCI also maintains a very, very close look on how he's recovering, and he continues to be in the supervision of the BCCI. Here at Sports Today also, we wish him a speedy recovery. But if it is 2 years time, well, there'll be a lot of time lost, and Rishabh Pant will perhaps then have to go a series of drills and a series of other things as well to be able to make that India comeback. It'll also be interesting to see what the team composition is like, and again, of course, that also means that the Delhi Capitals, of course, this season, obviously, there is no option to have Rishabh Pant. Will he be available for next season? That we'll have to wait and see, because again, Sourav Ganguly is saying that it could take up to 2 years time, because we all are aware extremely well as to how severe those injuries were. So That's what Sourav Ganguly had to say about Rishabh Pant and how long he could take to get back. But let's also shift the focus and talk about the other cricketer as far as Indian cricket goes. A person everyone's talking about, a person definitely feeling the pressure, not just of the media, I would say, but I think it's the kind of pressure that has gone to him because of this lean patch that he's had over a sustained period. And perhaps he's out of time or not, we don't know that here on Sports Today, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with KL Rahul. Well, Sourav Ganguly says that he has the team management's backing and support. What exactly has Sourav Ganguly said? Let's have a look at that. Sourav Ganguly says that there's so much focus and attention with a lot of pressure on players. The team management thinks that he is an important player for the team, and at the end of the day, what the coach and captain think is important. And of course, Sourav Ganguly, as a leader himself in the past, knows that a captain, of course, knows what players he needs and he wants in the playing 11. And in this case, yes, of course, you've seen KL Rahul being given the long rope, KL Rahul being given all the support. And when Sourav Ganguly makes this point about the team management, backing him and, saying that he's an important player, I must also take you back just about a week back when that test match in Delhi ended. KL Rahul got that support from not just Rohit Sharma but from Rahul Dravid as well. At two different media interactions, we heard from the two of them point out the fact that he scored some pivotal hundreds outside of India. He scored a couple in England, of course he's got one in Centurion, and then he's got centuries in Australia as well. So that those points were also made a while back, and there's no doubting in the fact that KL Rahul has got the support from the team management. Of course, that's not to say that he will definitely be playing, because you saw Shubman Gill train extremely hard today. He was practicing from right 1 p.m. right up till 5 p.m. It is being said that he was the first to enter the nets as well today. He skipped the warm-up session. So that's what KL Rahul and his situation as far as it goes, that's what Sourav Ganguly has to say. Sourav Ganguly also, I must say, he's also added that if you're not going to score runs for India, yes, you will cop up a lot of criticism, and that goes without saying. It's a pressure game, and it's a nation that has a lot of expectations, especially from its top order batsmen, and that's where KL Rahul likes to bat. And his numbers don't make for a very good reading at the moment. He's just averaging around 32 to 35, and having played over all these years for the Indian team, much more is expected from KL Rahul. So that was what Sourav Ganguly had to say, both with regards to KL Rahul as well as Rishabh Pant. The astonishing thing being over there that it could in fact take up to 2 years for Rishabh Pant to return. That's what Sourav Ganguly, who is now with the Delhi Capitals in a team management role, has had to say about his recovery. And with regards to KL Rahul, he feels that yes, you give him opportunities, he will score runs, but the good thing is that he has the team management support at the moment. We hope you like this video, and in case you did, do give us a thumbs up. Also, don't think twice before liking, sharing this video with your friends and family members. And like we always tell you, please do like, share and subscribe to Sports Today.